Welcome everyone to my figure head swap for the Wolverine. With the recent release of the Deadpool and Wolverine Marvel Legends, I thought I'd do a follow-up to my review, a bit of a fun thing where I'm going to head swap with some of the other Wolverine figures in my collection. So span of over 20 years, not only in the comics and movies, but some of these figures have been released for actually that long. So not only the Marvel Legends, I have a Toy Biz one as well as a Marvel Select. So the wait is over. Wolverine finally in the latest movie dons the yellow and blue suit as well as the cowl. So I'm just going to create these kind of what if scenarios if he actually wore the yellow spandex back in the day. Before I begin with the actual head swap, let me introduce you to each of the figures from left to right. So the one in the black suit is the Toy Biz edition for X-Men 3, and next to it is the Marvel Select for the sequel, The Wolverine. And then the one in the vest is the recent Marvel Legends Deadpool Legacy Edition for the first movie, X-Men Origins Wolverine. And next to it in the suit, of course, is the Marvel Legends Logan Edition. And on the far right is the comic version of the Weapon X, which is a Marvel Legends as well. So now pops out the original head sculpts, and let's try all the different heads onto this yellow suit. So I'm going to start off with the first release, which is the Toy Biz edition from X-Men 3. As I mentioned in my review, I don't mind the original Fox movie looks. I think the black suits work for that time. I think the yellow suit, believe it or not, kind of fits more in line with the MCU, even though it's based on the comics. So unfortunately, when I took out the Toy Biz edition, the peg would not remove. So I don't think I will be able to place the head sculpt onto this one. Okay, since I've removed the peg, let's try the Toy Biz one again. Okay, this doesn't actually look too bad. Obviously, it's not the best sculpt compared to what we see today. I think it's okay, especially with the hairstyle. The next one we can try is the Diamond Select figure, which is of course the Marvel Select version. And they included 3 head sculpts, some aggressive ones as well as the original face. And Marvel Select is normally a lot larger in scale, as you can see with the height. But we're going to try the head sculpts anyways. I don't think it will work simply because the pegs are very different. So I'm going to have to try it with some blue tack, just to give you an idea. If the sequel movie, he finally wore the suit. Although there was a feature right at the end of the movie, I'm not sure if it was deleted in one of the cuts, where he actually takes a look at the yellow suit. So this would have been it. But of course, it's not going to scale up well. You can see the head sculpt is way too big. So there's no point in really trying the other ones. So let's head swap the Marvel Legends now. So the one in the vest is the Deadpool Legacy, which they included 2 head sculpts. And this is based on the first Wolverine movie. And this is going to fit nicely, I believe, because it is from the same company. And this is a major what if scenario if Wolverine wore the suit in the original trilogy movies. So this look is excellent. And we also, of course, have the aggressive head sculpt. This is the full-on beast mode of Wolverine, which I really like. And in some of those dynamic poses, it's going to look really good for a younger kind of aggressive look. And then the next one we can test out is Logan. Of course, that movie is good as the way it is, but we're going to try the head sculpt anyways. And this isn't a bad look. I think this is a pretty decent one, and would be nice to switch up some of your photographies. Yeah, and I do like this look, especially as it's got the blood in it. And many of us thought this was the final appearance. And then they also included the aggressive head sculpts as well. So you can see the explosive look of Wolverine, again with some blood effects. And this does look pretty good. And for a bonus, let's try the Weapon X version. So obviously this is not going to make any sense, but here it is. Let's just try it anyways. With the helmet on. And then the one that I'm a bit more interested in, which is a comic unmasked look of Wolverine. So also from the Weapon X figure. And obviously in the comics, in the cartoon, we always see like a stocky look of Wolverine with the short sleeves. But this is just something to really switch it up. And next up, let's switch it up by placing the cowl version from the latest Deadpool and Wolverine on the previous figures. So let's start off with the Toy Biz X-Men 3 version. As I mentioned, I removed the peg, so I'm just going to do it without it. So let's start off with the unmasked head sculpt. And this looks really odd in terms of the way it's been placed on. Of course, it doesn't really have a peg, so it sits very low and just makes him look very short. It kind of reminds me of that short Wolverine.
Who's asking?
And let's try it with the cowl version. Once again, slightly better. Of course, in the original movies, if he wore the cowl, it would not be yellow, especially to go with the black suit. So it would have been interesting to see what they would have done in terms of the colors. And then the next one we can take a look at is the Marvel Select version. Of course, it didn't work on the Marvel Legends. So let's just place the Armor's head sculpt on. And let me just move the camera up. This is actually not a bad look. Of course, the skin tone doesn't work, but I think this is actually pretty decent. Kind of reminds me at the end of the scene, which is going to be interesting because if you throw on the cowl, you can actually create that scene right at the end when, of course, his shirt is all broken up. And the next one, which is a trademark look of Wolverine throughout the movies, is the vest lurk. So let's try it with the Armor's head sculpt. And of course, it fits perfectly. This is a really good look. And yeah, I think this one was kind of expected. Marvel Legends are Marvel Legends. And it just fits really well on this. And then we can try the mask version, which obviously looks odd, but in a multiverse, maybe he could have looked like this, which does look pretty menacing as well. And now we can try out the Logan version. Of course, the movie was good as the way it was. In the suit, there was really no need for any type of color. But if you just throw in this latest look on a bodysuit, it's also fine. And then we can try the mask version as well, like an alternative comic version, which is also pretty cool. We have the comic Weapon X, which of course in one of the movies but obviously he seems too short for this. But again, in like an alternative universe, maybe this is what he would have looked like. And then the mask version, which is just for fun. Here it is. So that was a quick head swap. Of course, not all of them are compatible with each other. Mostly it is the Marvel Legends. And it was interesting to see some of the what if scenarios. Even though it didn't quite fit on the Toy Biz and Marvel Select version, you saw some of them. It looked like they were taken from scenes from the Deadpool and Wolverine movie. So that was pretty cool. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to also check out my review of the Wolverine from the latest release. And stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching.